Happy Michael Jordan year, and today we're celebrating with a review of the Air Jordan XXXVIII. Just by looking at the box, you might not guess that this is something where an Air Jordan XXXVIII flagship model is packaged, but I think it's a great move by Nike because we have the whole initiative Move to Zero, where recycled materials are being used, and it's a great message with the box right away. Obviously, it has to do with the shoe, and it's also a great contrast where it's a low-profile box, but when you get to the shoe, it is out of this world and amazing. So we're gonna get into that. Here they are. These are the first three colorways that we have available at Grosbasket, and just real quick, this is the FIBA or the Olympic colorway right here. This is the women's WNBA colorway, which I think it's a great move that there's something completely specific for female ballers. Although I tried the shoe on, I mean, I'm like a size 9, 9.5, and I could definitely play in this shoe as well. It's not that big of a difference in the setup of the shoe. And here we have the fundamentals colorway as well. Before we get into all the exciting details, most of you probably know that ever since the Air Jordan XXXI came out, the shoe was connected to the model that came out 30 years ago. So the 31s to the 1s, 32s to the 2s, and so forth. And perhaps the biggest connection between these models was with the 35s, where they had an oversized tongue just like the 5s. So that was the big connection. Here with the 38s, the connection is not as apparent. Obviously, you can argue or say that the Jumpman logo here on the tongue is a pretty big similarity, but if you remember, the original 8s had the strap on across the shoe, and there is a connection here at the bottom with the X plate, which is an amazing piece of technology, but we will get into that later because now we're gonna focus on the style and the details and the storytelling of the shoe. And the story these shoes tell is great. It's basically a history lesson, and it goes back to Michael Jordan's legendary 92-93 season when he completed his first three-peat with the Chicago Bulls against the Phoenix Suns in the finals. And here we can find these details and shout outs to the amazing stats that MJ put up. Here we have 41, I guess we can call them dots right here to symbolize the 41 points per game average that Michael Jordan had during the final series, and that is a record for a single NBA final series. So big shout out for that. Here we have 6.3 chevrons, and they symbolize the average number of assists Michael Jordan had in the finals, in the 93 finals. And here we have 8.5 lines for the 8.5 rebounds that MJ also recorded in the final series. On top of these stats, Michael Jordan also recorded 1.7 steals per game in the finals. He shot 50.8% from the field and also 40% from three-point range. Just mind-blowing. And finally, here we also have the three lines that represent the first three NBA championships that MJ won with the Chicago Bulls. So as I said, a great history lesson, great storytelling with the shoe, and this also is really a great way of bringing us into the story of the upper, and we're getting into the tech specs and the details of the shoe. So obviously the upper is a combination of synthetic leather right here, and then we also have mesh and embroidered materials, and they're not see-through here. You can put your finger here and then it becomes see-through. There's like a small piece of fabric behind it as well. But basically what's going on here is that the shoe is super ventilated. It's super lightweight, and going back to the box, the shoe is made out of 20% recycled materials. So, all of these great things going on just when we start looking at the upper. Speaking of ventilation, we also have it going on here with the tongue, and it's all the same for all the three colorways, but there are some differences. For example, the toe box here with the fundamentals colorway, it's, let's say, basic. The WNBA colorway has little stars in it, and the FIBA colorway has some, I don't know, funky shapes going on here, triangles, circles, lines, and so forth. So great details and differences for each of the colorways. Another great detail and difference between the colorways, here we have the ring from the '93 finals on the fundamentals colorway. It's also here in the WNBA or the women's colorway, but here on the FIBA colorway, we have the FIBA World Cup trophy. So again, great details in all of these shoes. And as I started, we can continue to some of the, you know, tech details that I already started talking about. And as I already mentioned, the cross straps from the 8s, obviously they're not used here, but they are used here with the X-Plate. It's the newest piece of Nike technology, and again, a great story is hidden behind it. Obviously, it's more than a story. It's a functional piece of the shoe that helps you, but it's interesting that it was motivated or designed according to Michael Jordan's legendary fadeaway shot. So obviously, when you're performing the fadeaway, you need to stay on your toes. You need that stability and leaping ability, and this is what the X-Plate is aimed towards. You know, that's what it does. That's what it helps you achieve, to pull off that perfect fadeaway. So I really like this detail when I was trying out the shoe. Another detail, which is also kind of a old school thing, it's the herringbone pattern. A lot of new shoes, you know, use computer generated designs to achieve maximum stability here with the traction pattern, but the 38s have the herringbone pattern because it's proven, it's tested, and I loved it. Even the cord in our store wasn't, you know, perfectly clean, but still the shoes worked perfectly. So that was something that I really enjoyed. And then if we move forward or move towards the midfoot, I'm super excited to say that the shoe includes a full-length Zoom Strobel unit along with a Cushlon 3.0 foam also underneath the entire foot. So it's just a, you know, kind of draw the line under everything that we pointed out about the shoe. Great design, great storytelling, great details, amazing technology. Trust me, you will love this shoe when you try it on. I guess the final piece of advice is to, if you have a chance, come to our stores, try them out. If you're buying them online, you can go true to size because it's a pretty standard setup. And definitely, I would not recommend taking these shoes outdoors. They will perform outdoors, there's no doubt about that, but they will just, you know, wear out real quick or more quicker. So just don't use them outdoors. That's my advice. These are just perfect indoor basketball shoes, and that's what they should be used for. And the final piece of advice is to, as always, follow us all over social media, subscribe to our YouTube, share your opinions in the comments below, and I think that's pretty much it. Until next time, bye.